Hi guys, it's Aegis here. So today we are talking about overdress Vanguard Project 2.0. So we have get news really review. So I'm going to talk about it right here, and it will be the TCG focus. So I won't be talking about anime. I won't be talking about a story. Um, if you do want to hear about the updated story, of course, comment down below. Let me know. Maybe I will make one. Yeah, but this one will be the TCG focused. So for now, we are keeping what we are, but then starting from April 1st, we will now have three formats. So under the new regulations, we now have the standard, which we will be only be using overdress cards with the icon. Our original standard will become V premium, and we can still only use three icon cards only. Um, we should still get some new supports, like the V collections, and then we'll get some promo cards, and then our original premium standard will just become premium, and as usual, we can still use every cards available to make our decks. Yeah, so for now, there's no news about updating premium, so we do hope to see more G Guardians, more G units, or other G support if possible, because we still have a love on those cards and we still want to be able to use them, and we hope they do update them. Yeah, so just a quick thought on the free formats. As like being talked about like from different content creators, I think it's quite hard to keep three formats going at the same time. So even if you have like big events, it's really hard to keep three formats, because even two formats they already need to work a lot harder on this, and three formats is probably going to create more chaos. But we will see if they can actually manage that. To me, premium I'll probably just keep playing because I can basically just use every cards, and even with overdress cards, I can still mix them in our old decks, premium decks. But V premium, I probably will just put less focus on it, because if I want to play the cards in V era, I'll probably just go for premium, even though there are like even more crazy combos in premium that may not let me enjoy V era only cards. If that's happening, then I'll just try to make one. But my main focus will be on the new standard and premium. So uh, do expect content from me mainly on these two. But yeah, if I see enough requests, like I want to see specific V premium deck, of course it's from the clan that I play, then I can actually make some, because I will have the cards anyway. It's not like I'm not getting V collection, but I will. Yeah, so do expect me to still have most of the cards to build whatever I want. In from the weekly stream, Mr. Kitani, like kind of the top of Bushiro, also did kind of say sorry that he and his team will try to prevent another kind of rotation or regulation change, format change, this kind of things to happen again, um, which we can understand that, because from V standard we did see a lot of problems. Um, quickly saying, for example, Luard and Gurgut, they need to get limitations on choices like very quick. Gurgut is a little bit later, because Busher say they don't have enough tournament data yet. But then recently we did see Gurgut get hit, so yeah, even like Riviere need to get text change. So yeah, there's a lot of things happen, and they just too easy to spam markers, too easy to like creating a lot of usage, of those cards, which won't be healthy to the balance of the game. So I think in the end, it's still a good decision to actually just break them apart so that you don't actually need to deal with them, and then focus on the new format. So let's talk about the new rules. So there will be a main deck and right deck, which I will be explaining it a little bit later. Quick shield gone, and player going second will draw a card with the ability of Starting Vanguard instead of you basically just write and draw in the past. Now it's only for player going second. So this helps second player a little bit better because first time player won't get that much draw, and then second player can get another extra draw, so they make easier to do their combos. And it's like other card games basically. So we the player going second can draw extra cards, which kind of benefit them. But in other card games, they usually, if you're going first, you won't be able to draw a card, and then go second, you can start drawing cards. But I think for Vanguard, both player gets to draw one card, but going second, you draw extra card. I think it's still fair. Yeah. So Imaginary Gift is gone too, and Graveyard units will get a new ability in overdress, which again, as explained, I think is a good thing. Imaginary Gift in the first, I think is quite nice, but then in later of the era, I think they spam the usage of gift too much, and not creating a very healthy balance. Yeah. So hopefully, getting into overdress, we are going to see a better balance. Of course, we will still be seeing like specific groups of cards are like dominating the format, but the other ones is not like they can't play, but it's more like a they are slightly better, they're slightly stable, or some is like can do a sudden strike, so they can just suddenly get to the top. These kind of things. I hope to see that happen. Yeah. And then the last point is the cards with the icons can be played in clan decks that correspond to the nations, which also relating to the next image that I'm going to show you. So from now on, instead of having 24 clans, we will have 6 nations. And it's basically the previous nations that we have, but instead of just General Empire keeps the name and the other 5 changed, and then basically Sioux and then Megalonica mixed together to form a new nation, and then Bermuda standalone to be another one. Yeah. So this also go back to what we have talked about. Clan decks can also be using the nations cards, but then we have no idea with some of the nations change their names, can we actually use those cards in premium for our original clans, which I hope we can, because from the Bushiro stream, they do put those clans icons and then they under certain nations, but still, since we do have the name differently, so I can't completely confirm, but I do hope that this is the case. Yep. So we can also see the new Graveyard unit has a personal right icon, which at the moment we still don't know what that does yet, so we will have to wait. And then we also can see the nature mark, the icon, to differentiate the group of cards they're using and the format that you're playing. So here are some new starter deck units, cover units basically, that also talking about different nations. So you can see there's a Diablos, there's a Nirvana, there's a Bastion. So the art sculpt changed, and I have to say I like it, but we do want to see more of this. And then there's two more starters, like this Magnolia and then Seraph White, which Seraph White belongs to Brandgate. If you do remember, Brand belongs to the Star Rogue, which I think is still part of Void Army, like the Star Raiders. In this Brandgate nation, I think is preparing to face Void. So I'm not too sure if they are actually part of like Void or they are going to fight against Void. So that's something that we are going to see more in the future, and then we can actually see what's happening. Yeah. So next we do have a new thing called guarantee, right? So go back to where we talk about main deck and right deck. Now we do have 4 cards that set aside as our right deck, and then our right deck plus main deck will still be 50. And then like when you don't have the cards you want to ride, but they're in your right deck, you can actually discard a card from your hand, and then to ride that card from the right deck, so you can basically won't be able to like meet your grade and also get to ride on the unit that you want to actually use. So this is a good thing because in the past, even with G Assist, when we look at the top 5 cards, there might be the grade that we are looking for, but they are not the cards that we're looking for. So now we just discard a card and then we can ride whatever we want. And let's take a look at a quick QA regarding to the right deck. So right deck is only for standard, so even if we're playing premium, we use overdress cards, we still won't be able to have a right deck. And then we will have to use separate sleeves for main deck and right deck. But for right deck, you can actually use 4 different type of sleeves if you want to. They just need to be different to the main deck. And then if the cards is placed within the right deck, but then if they're going to other areas, so for example, if you have to place it under the main deck, then the cards already originally from the right deck will go back to the right deck. And I think that's why you need to have a different sleeves so that you won't mix them up. For other stones, that card will be placed in the stone indicated. So probably if they go to bind zone, they will just go to bind zone. Drop, maybe just go to drop. Just that if they're going to the main deck, they will go back to the right deck instead. Which also makes me a little bit interesting to see if we have other skills to actually utilize the right deck. Like if you discard whatever from the right deck, you can do whatever, something like that. Yeah, or maybe some cards that allows you to put cards back to the right deck so that you can reuse them for something else, similar to G-Zone, but we will see. And we also get another questions that get answered. For example, this is the number of cards to be 50 that I've talked about. And then next one, must the copies of the same card in the main deck and the right deck be up to 4? And that's a yes. So you can put 4 of a unit in your main deck and 1 extra in your right deck. They need to be a total of 4. And then lastly, something that I think if you're talking about the right deck, you will care the most. Can I put only grade 2 cards in my right deck? No, you cannot. So you need to prepare basically 1 each of grade 0, 1, 2, and 3. And you can't mix other grades. So they have to be 1 grade each. And your grade 0, based on what I see in the stream, you don't need to discard 1 card to actually get there. And like our usual starting Vanguard, we just place them face down before we start the game. So the only time that you need to discard and write from the right deck is from grade 1, grade 2, and grade 3. Yeah, so that's basically the right deck in guarantee ride. And the next, oh boy, yeah, I think that's what's make people excited a lot in good way or bad way is the introduction of the over trigger. So this is a what they call an ultimate trigger and only one per deck. This one shown is actually the elemental one, so we do have a different other over trigger, which you will see right now that I do have 5 of them, so they don't have the actual effects revealed yet, and we can quickly go back to the elemental one, which it got the skills, which is kind of common right here. So of course this card can be only one per deck, and if it's out as a trigger, this card will be removed and you draw one card. So even if you try check and this card is gone, you still get to draw a card, so you won't lose a card. If it goes to damage, then before actually go to damage, it will disappear, so you won't take that damage. And then select one of your unit during the turn, they get 100 million power. Yeah, so basically if you hit this trigger, unless your opponents also hit that over trigger, they are not going to hit you for the whole turn. Yeah, which is kind of crazy. And then they also get a extra effect. Select one of your unit during the turn, it will get the 100 million power. So probably these kind of extra effects will be different for different nations, and again we will have to see. But this is kind of like a max luck element, because you might just check it out when you like on grade 1, and then you suddenly lose that big trigger, or maybe if you're on 6 damage and this is revealed and it's gone, and your Vanguard just become extremely big and your opponents have to end turn, something like that. Yeah, we will see how impactful this trigger is, and it's got 50k shield, so yeah, it's basically something massive. But is it really crazy? We will have to see. Also we do have a Twitter post from, I think it's one of the voice actor. So what he showed us is of course another over trigger, but he also showed us a grade 0, which have no skill right now, and that got 5k shield. So maybe our overall shield value is actually going down, but we will still need to see what's going on. But hopefully if we can actually get the trigger power, defensive power, it just maybe that's good for the game too. So we do see quite a few elements that we do have before entering the V era. Maybe it's a good thing. We referencing some of the old stuff that is good, and then adding new elements and see how far we can actually go. Yeah. So next, let's also talk about the products. So before we talk about the schedule, I want to talk about some quick info. Is that we will have all our nation starter decks. In English side, we do have like once off May 14th release, and they are extremely cheap, only 4 USD. But in Japanese, they are going to release it in 2 months, which is March and April. So we will get Dragon Empire, Dark States, Kettle Sanctuary first in March, and then Stoikira and Brandgate in April. And the price that I can get in Hong Kong is actually around 3.2 to 3.6 USD. So it's not that big of a difference compared to the English price, but it's really a big change on pricing. And in the weekly stream, I think our producer also told us that the key cards we will get 4 copies of, but like maybe there are cards that we only can get 1 or 2 copies. So for me, I will probably just go for 2 trial decks or 2 starter decks per nations, so that I can basically just try every nations. And since they're cheap, so I think it's okay to just go for everything and then just pick whatever I want. But for now, I probably won't be investing a lot on Cattle Sanctuary and also the 6 nations, which will only be Bermuda. And you can see the picture right here is on a flying whale. So yeah, I think I see a lot of people saying, well, we have a lot of whales supporting Bermuda, so now we are giving you an actual whale. So yeah, keep supporting Bermuda. Yeah, so that's basically the starters. And of course, we like to see things going cheap, which is really, really nice. And then talking about the booster, that I'm using the Japanese one to basically show you what's happening. So if I compare with VBD 12, that the graphical set, the price per pack is basically the same, and packs in a box is basically the same. So for Japanese, I think the price will still be the same, depending on how many boxes we get per case. That's something that I don't know yet. Yeah, so we'll just wait and see. And well, that's something that I want to talk about. The booster as well. First, I think we can actually see the schedule, and then we can probably talk about it a little bit more. So first, of course, we do have our clan selection coming up, and then we have our different starter decks, and then we also get a booster. Booster is also in April, so time to save. But then we can actually try everything during April. I think it's a good thing, and the booster will also include all 5 nations, which again is a good thing. And then next we have a festival collection 2021, and they also say there will be a Die Vanguard side, which is the big Vanguard Fest, which I'm not too sure what festival collection is going to give us, because the new stuff is only releasing for 2 months, and festival collection usually is a reprint set. Maybe that's something that relating to V series, but we will see. And then interestingly, there's a token Rambu title trial deck and title booster. And then next we do have another booster set in June, and then it's the Monster Strike, also a title trial deck and title booster, which we I think Monster Strike fan, which also a Vanguard player, is already been waiting for like a year to 2 years. So hopefully we can actually see Monster Strike appearing and see how it gets involved with the overdress cards. And then in August there will be the Bermuda trial deck and booster pack. Yeah, so we are kind of packed from January to August, but if we are looking at the booster releasing, we are actually getting the main sets like once per 2 months, so I think that's not too bad. But again, we will need to see what's going on with the booster, which also leading to the next one. Next image talking about the card types. So they now kill VR, and our top rarity is still triple rare, and then they increase including a new holo for rare and common cards, which if you want your shiny decks, there's your chance. and they introduce a dress secret rare. So that's something that we will see, and probably each booster set will have one of these, and we'll see if it comes through a whole case, like one per case, or maybe like 4 per case, whatever. That's something that we still need to see. But what worries me is, yes, you do kill the VR and like go back to basic. We go top triple rare, double rare, rare, and common. But what concerns me the most is the ratio, because yeah, if you kill VR and you just say every box we are going to give you one triple rare, then that's the same. And how are you going to give us the amount of triple rares? Are you going back to like start of the era that we can get like 1.5 to 2 playsets of a nation or clan from a case, or we can only still get a playset or even can't get a playset? That's something that we need to be very, very careful of, and I do hope Bushiro is going to fix that, because I do have enough experience of not having enough cards to play with. So yeah, something that I do hope to see going better. And then the Japanese side also told us that there will be 1 SP per box, so I think that's for like collectors or people who want even higher rarity. But then we will see what's actually coming up. Yeah. Okay, so then we can also see this schedule about the booster. As I said, there will be 5 nations. Then we can see there are 10 triple rares, 15 double rares, 30 rares, 65 commons, actually 2 DSR, so not only one. So there's 2, 40 SP, 50 holos, and a token card. Yeah. So again, we don't have any idea of DSR. Is it just a better alternate art, or is something that completely unique? We will need to see. Yeah, and here, of course, we do have our second booster as well, and it's also covering all 5 nations, which is nice. So that it's like Dragon Ball or Magic, that they combine so many clans into nations, into colors, and then like every time they just give you a different theme, so that you can basically just go into the set and keep getting updates, instead of I get Gear Chronicle this year and then I need to wait at least a year for another update. But now every single release you probably will see some updates, but just that updates, you like it or not, then that's another story. And or if it fits your playstyle or not, fits whatever you want to play, again, that's another story. But at least you are getting updates every single time. So overall, to players, I think it's good. Getting more involved. Don't need to wait too long, because 24 clans, you need to get them like keep coming out is actually quite hard. And in the past, even if they keep boosting whatever clans, there are always clans that getting less support, and we don't like to see that. And lastly, with the V collections, we can see there's a Raging Form Dragon and Tetra Dragon coming back. So yeah, maybe we can finally see a Daikaiser, or maybe like my Master Beetle finally coming back, hopefully. But that's something that we need to see. Yeah, so I think that's basically everything I want to cover. Yes, we are getting starter shaper, booster probably the same depending on ratio. New format, new ideas. We still need to actually try it out. So I will get the starters and show you guys what's in there, and then play with it with friends and see if we like it. probably I will just keep continuing playing. So yeah, do just stay tuned on Vanguard content that I am going to create. Yeah, I think that's basically everything I need to cover. So if you do have any questions, let me know. Comments down below. If I know the answer, I will try my best to give you the answers. If I don't know, at least I can link you to somewhere else. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much everything I have to share today. It's quite long as a video, and I hope you enjoy this kind of information sharing. Again, comments down below. Let me know your thoughts. You staying, or you like just going to keep yourself in Vieira, whatever. Let me know, and we can discuss down below. Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you guys in the next video. Signing off.